Hi everyone, it's me, Krista. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If not, welcome for the very first time to my little art corner here on YouTube. Today we are continuing Inktober. We are doing day 17, prompt 17, and that prompt is ornament. Whenever I think of ornaments, I think of Christmas trees, but since it is Halloween, well, not yet, but soon. Halloween isn't coming. We are in October after all. I decided I wanted to do a sort of Halloween tree with little Halloween ornaments hanging on it. I wanted the tree to be kind of gnarled and scraggly looking. It ended up sort of resembling a hand with a shape, which was completely not intentional, but looking at it now, that's what I see. Go figure. This project is 4x6 like most of the other ones, and we are using the same paper that we have been using for the majority of these projects, which is the Strathmore mixed media paper in blue. At this point in the drawing, I'm just setting up my basic sketch. I am using a 2H pencil, which is very light, and getting some of those main shapes already. For the little ornaments, I did a jack-o'-lantern, ghosty, little black cat, a little bat, and a tiny little skull. Just some simple but effective stuff going on. And at this point, I start inking, and I am using the Pentel Arts Hybrid Technica 0.4mm to do so. Just wanted something nice, simple, and easy to get the basic outline inked in. I also decided at this point that I wanted to add a jack-o'-lantern at the bottom of the tree towards the left because it seemed very empty in that spot. So that's what I'm doing. I apparently grabbed a different pencil than what I was using previously. I just grabbed a cheap Bic mechanical pencil to throw that little jack-o'-lantern in there. A lot of these drawings remind me of shapes and stuff I did a lot as a kid, and that part of it was really fun. It's nice to get into that headspace again and be reminded of simpler times. I think that's why adult coloring books became so popular. You get to turn off your brain for a little while and just relax, chill out, and enjoy the process. And at this point, I'm switched back to that black gel pen to get the rest of my outline in. I wanted to start with the pen A, because it's small and thin, and I can thicken up the lines with a different marker later if I so choose. And B, once it's dry, it does not smudge. This one holds up really well to watercolor and when you are using other layers of ink or markers. Once it's there, it's not going to re-wet and do a watercolory effect like some markers and pens do. Which, when you want that to happen, it's fine. When you don't want it to happen, not so good. For some sections that I wanted to be fairly white, I immediately went in with either the white gel pen or that white Posca pen to pull that out. I didn't want to forget that I wanted those areas to be light, so I tried to add them in quickly. Stylistically for this one, I did want it to feel more whimsical, soft, cute, overall a little bit more illustrative, like something you might see on a kid's book cover or even just a mainstream Halloween card. Just wanted it to be cute. Nothing scary or disturbing this time, unless trees really terrify you, which is a possibility. Yep, it's called dendrophobia. The fear of trees. The more you know. Yes, I did Google that, because I thought that's what it was called. Because if you've seen Can't Hardly Wait, you probably could have figured this one out. But now that I went off on a completely different tangent than what we're actually focusing on here, I mean, this is an art channel, allegedly, I am pulling in some Winsor Newton white ink into the background with a lot of water, just to add a little bit of shading. That ends up changing later, but I tried. Changed my mind on it. I also started using a Kuretake water brush instead of the Caran d'Ache one I've been using. I switched back to the Caran d'Ache one. I really like how that one works. Guess I have a favorite water brush now. Not too long ago I had never used one before. Oh, how times have changed. Now I'm taking that anonymous Kuretake marker that I've been using for a lot of these projects and doing some thicker lines. I really enjoy this marker. I like the different line widths I can get with it. I also enjoy how it's flexible. And I've been using it a lot at this point. I've been using it for quite a while. It hasn't skipped, it still hasn't dried out. It's been working fairly well for me. I just really wish that I could read Japanese so I knew exactly what model of marker this was. And I am just using this thicker marker to re-outline most of what I have going on, and also to add a lot of texture to that tree. For the texturing on the tree, I'm trying to follow the guidelines I have set up with the outside shape and mimic them as much as humanly possible, at least for my capabilities. And for a lot of the main outline, I am trying to do as many single passes as humanly possible. I am trying, for the most part, not to do the scritchy, scratchy little lines for the outside. That's not the effect I want for those. I want them to be strong, bold, smooth lines as much as I can get them to be. I just realized I should have done the little eyeball ornament because of how often I draw eyes. Missed opportunity there. Darn it. Oh well. Next time, maybe. Next time. We have kept the eye drawing at bay for quite a while now. Kind of proud of myself for not just doing a bunch of eyeball drawings for Inktober. Y'all should be proud of me too. And actually, I do want to thank everybody who has subscribed since I've started Inktober and for all the positive feedback. I was not expecting that at all. Certain videos have been getting a lot more views than I normally do on my channel, and I've been getting way more subscribers way more quickly than I have. So if you've subscribed recently, or you've been liking my videos or watching them, thank you so much. I am flabbergasted and in awe of how quickly that has been changing just from doing drawings for part of an art challenge. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Now I guess I should be talking about this drawing still. You know, the main event of what this video is supposed to be, not all these side tangents I've been going off on this entire time. I am still just using that marker, doing varying line weights to get different amounts of texture, which is basically holding the marker in different ways and applying different amounts of pressure to it. A lot of the work for this project was just using that marker in a couple of different ways. I was trying to use less supplies this time than I have been. I failed at it, but I was trying to do something more simple that I feel like a lot more people could do. This kind of drawing could be done on this tone paper with a single black marker and a white acrylic marker or white gel pen, honestly. You don't need all of this stuff that I'm using in order to do this. For the background right now, I am pulling in a marker that I have not used yet. This one came in this month's Art Snacks box. It is a Copic Classic, which means that this one has a chisel tip and a fine tip. It does not have the brush nib that a lot of us love for the Copic sketch markers and enjoy using. And the color I'm using is B00 Frost Blue. I mostly used it on the background, and for a good chunk of it, I just used the chisel tip. I do pull in a tiny bit of shading on that ghost with this marker, because I thought he looked a little flat, being just plain white. But I liked the marker. I liked the effect it gave. It works as well as any other Copic marker I've ever used. It worked nice on the paper. Don't really have much else to say about it. Sorry, guys. I do think this is the most I've ever used a chisel tip nib on any marker I own, though, so good for that. That's awesome. I do like the effect pulling that in did with the background for the sky area. it creates a very large differentiation between that and the rest of the drawing. Sometimes I think just pulling in a separate color and keeping it that one shade helps pull in focus to what you did most of the work on, which in this case would be that pumpkin, the grass that's a-comin', the tree, and those adorable little ornaments. After coloring in the background, I am going in again with that black marker to strengthen up the outline yet again. I feel like I use this marker a lot for this particular drawing. I'm also randomly deciding to throw in extra lines and branches. Just doing this as I go, adjusting it as I feel it should be. And pretty soon here, I do start adding some more texture to the grass, just doing some messy little lines and doing varying weights and doing various bunches. Towards the bottom, I decided to make it blacker so that I would have the lighter lines standing out against it a little bit more. I wanted to bring in a decent amount of texture for this drawing. Not as much as I have for some previous ones, but still a good chunk of it. Now I'm going over certain areas with that white Posca pen. I want to pull out some highlights in the grass, the tree. I also wanted to add a bunch of dots to the background because I have an acrylic marker dotting problem. I apparently have to do it for a bunch of pieces now. I also decided to outline some of the ornaments that are more black with a white gel pen just so they stand out a little bit more and I don't lose the shape as much. Since this is such a small drawing, outlining those in white helps them not get lost. With small things like this, if you want them to be seen, you have to add in so much more contrast so they do not get lost in the grander scheme of the drawing. I do some more dots and lines with the white gel pen because they will be smaller. Add a little bit of variation with my dotting. At this point in the drawing, I do decide to bring in some more straight up black branches to give this idea of the branches being behind each other. It's just an easy, simple way to give that effect. Some might consider it cheating. I would just say it is a tool to have in your arsenal. At this point in the drawing, I am just refining a lot of things. I do add some darker areas to that pumpkin that is sitting by the trunk of the tree in order to help it feel as though it is part of the scene a little bit more. But overall, we are pretty much done with this project here. This one was a lot of fun for me. I liked doing something a little cuter and more whimsical. It's always nice to do that every once in a while. And so far, I've really been liking Inktober. I feel like I've been learning a lot and have been trying to push out of my box a little bit more. If you want to let me know how you're doing on Inktober, what you've been making, or you have any comments, questions, feelings, or concerns, let me know in that comment section down below. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and you'll definitely be hearing from me here really soon. Bye, everybody!